Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's session. It is Wednesday, August 16th. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day and had a good day. So, tonight's session, I did not end up trading today because we did have FOMC minutes. Decided to take the day off, especially after a really good day yesterday. And I'm kind of thankful I did because price action really didn't look that appetizing in the morning, especially if we were going to hop on live. We really wouldn't have probably gotten chopped up. So, we're going to take this first little bit of time here and kind of review the action. I kind of want to replay from the open and see what market did and see if there's any possible opportunities for us. So first thing is I do want to mark out this sell side level that we had that got taken in the AM, and I do want to see where we opened up. We opened up right here. So I'm going to replay open, and I want to see if there's any possible. So my bias going into today is bearish on a bigger time frame, but I am a little bit more bullish going into the open because we just have now swept this sell side level, right? So I'm definitely a little bit more bullish going into the open. I can definitely expect to probably see price if we get displacement up, and if we break through this fair value gap, I probably expect that to become inverse, and now I probably expect us to go to discount of this range, right? Now I'm not sure yet if we're going to go back to buy side here, but I know at least we're probably going to go to discount of this range, right? So this is probably where we are going to look to hunt, probably these equal highs as well. And we also have a fair value gap here. So we'll see price. So let's go into the open. 1 minute. Again, for me to be really extra bullish here, I would want to see this 5 minute get ran through going into the open. So going into the open here, let's see what kind of price action we get. We get a sell off. We end up sweeping internal. Keep going, and then we get a big push to the upside here. So this would actually not be a bad possible long if we come down to that fair value gap. This would not be a bad long. Now, the reason this would not be a bad long is because we've swept that buy side level, we've swept internal, and now we've gotten a big displacement to the upside, right? So notice this 5 minute fair value gap. What did I say I want to see this become? This becomes, once this gets broken through, this validates our long bias, right? So we wait for a break to the upside, we get nice displacement, right? Notice that high now getting broken through with a lot of moves. A lot of strong pressure to the upside. I expect this 5 minute fair value gap to become inverse, as well as expect this fair value gap to now hold. So this would have been a nice long. Again, my first really target for this would be here, and then my second target would be these equal highs. So that would end up playing out. Stop would be at break even. Looks like, okay, and then the rest would be stopped at break even there. Almost got that second PT, but that would have been a nice trade here. So at this point in time, could possibly expect this to become a turtle soup, but I would be a little bit cautious. I would not be looking to really take anything quite yet. Now, this could be break a structure to the downside, but I want to be extra careful expecting this to become break a structure to the upside, to the downside, because we've just swept this level here, right? So I'm not insanely super bearish here yet because I still want to see a little bit more structure start to form here. So this is telling me one thing right here. This probably is telling me when price wants to go higher here. Now, I do want to look at N or ES at the time and see if we were forming an SMT at this low. I do want to see if we were or not. Which was right here. Which it does look like we were. Actually, were we? No, we weren't, actually. Okay, so that low got taken on ES as well. Once this fair value gap gets ran through here, I can expect price to go back to buy side. Again, if we're bearish, this becomes break a structure to the downside. This should hold, right? But notice this does not hold. This gets absolutely ran through. So I expect us to probably come back down to here and then go back to these highs. There we go. Highs get swept. So that's internal liquidity now getting taken. We're in, those equal highs have been taken. We're in this fair value gap. So for me to be bullish, right? For me to be really bullish here and expect the draw to be here, this fair value gap right here on the 15 minute needs to get ran through. If this does not get ran through, then I expect lower prices, right? So this is now buy side getting swept. Internal liquidity now getting swept. Again, what would I be looking for? Displacement to the downside, starting to get some selling pressure. Could possibly now see us move back to discount of this range to look to sell in this fair value gap, possibly a short model. Comes up, gets tapped. That would be your short entry. What would I be targeting? This low. First price target would be here. Stop. So this would be some contracts off. I would move my stop probably to here, super tight. Ends up getting ran through again. Very choppy, so that would be half off here. Rest stopped at break. Coming back up, rejects that fair value gap once again. Doesn't make a new high. Does ES make a new high? I do want to see that. ES does not make a new high. Comes back down again. So if I see displacement through this low, I could definitely expect to see this low getting taken. We end up sweeping these lows here, going back higher. Again, right now we're just consolidating. At this point in time, the only thing at this point in time, I would say don't touch. Do not touch anything at this point in time. The reason is because every sort of fair value gap is getting ran through, right? Notice, whenever I can say what is proper market conditions, what is unconditional market conditions, this is what I'm talking about. And an easy way to tell what is unprobable market conditions is when you can notice every bullish and bearish fair value gap getting disrespected. So this is a place where we don't want to touch this area, right? The only way I would touch this is if we can maybe come up, sweep this high here, and maybe form an SMT and then look to see a sell. But at this point in time, I would still be very, very cautious here. We come up, do we form SMT? ES ends up making equal highs, so not really. I wouldn't really take that into account. We sweep internal, but don't sweep that high. Again, I would still really not be touch. I wouldn't even touch, really touch shorts here because we didn't sweep that high. So I still wouldn't really be touching anything. I would probably just be letting the market do its thing. At this point in time, we're continuing to sell off, so I'd probably expect to see that low. Low gets taken, probably expect to see lower now. And at this point in time, I really wouldn't be looking to touch anything. I wouldn't even really be looking to long because I would be expecting that buy side level or that sell side level right here to be taken on ES. All right, so sell side gets taken on ES. Do want to zoom out for a second and kind of see where we are. So this sell side level is now taken. Okay, what am I expecting now? I would want to see buyers start to buy this back up. If this 5 minute gets ran through, we could expect to see the next imbalance, which is probably here. So I really would not be looking to touch anything, maybe longs, but I have to see a little bit more. Notice that fair value gap still getting respected so far. Coming back down, let's see if this fair value gap here holds. Bounces for a little bit, ends up continuing to sell off. Really, still no really probable trade for me yet. At this point in time, for me to have confidence with any sort of trade, it would have to be longs to the upside, and I would need to see a lot more displacement, right? We now have a 5 minute high being put in. If we can run this high with a lot of volume, there we go, then I could definitely look to see more longs. But what would I want to see now? So now we have some displacement to the upside. I would expect us to pull back to this 5 minute fair value gap. That's when I zoom in and look to probably see a 1 minute fair value gap somewhere around here is where I'd look to see. Also, keep in mind that 5 minute did get ran through. So I would not be looking to take blind longs here, right? I'm not looking to take blind longs here. I need to see internal model, which never ends up happening, right? Once we come down here, we're not in discount yet. Notice discounts here. But once we go to discount, we have a massive move to the downside. So at this point in time, I am not looking to take any sort of longs, right? Because we just had a massive move to the downside. We came up, swept this level, had some displacement now. Now I am expecting to probably see new lows at this point after this big candle here. Unless we break through some sort of bearish fair value gap. Ends up creating new lows. Again, at this point in time, we're still really not looking to take anything. Okay, so we sweep internal. Notice we're starting to kind of accumulate at these lows after sweeping sell side. So this is possibly telling me we could maybe see higher, but I need to see more. Comes up, sweeps this high here. Again, I would need to see us get displacement through this high for me to have any sort of valid conviction that we're going to go higher. Continuing to disrespect, selling off. So this could possibly be a short opportunity here. Market's showing that we just do not want to go higher. We continue up, respect that 15-minute fair value gap once again. We are starting to break structure to the downside right now with nice displacement. What could we expect? Pull back to fair value gap. Maybe look to take a short right here, somewhere around here. In one of these fair value gaps, I'll probably zoom out, look to take it in this 2 minute. So this would not be a bad short here. Stop would probably be here. First price target would probably be somewhere around here, and then I would let the runner go to the lows. Nice. probably would take off around half here and then let the rest go. We'll see if the rest gets targeted. There we go. That would have been a really nice short. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only like good setup that would have been today. Let's see what else. We're coming near the end of the day here. And then at that point in time, I would pretty much just not really look to take anything. I would expect macro to be done for the day and just accumulate. Yeah, and then markets ends up closing. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only really trade that I would look to take besides that possible long here in the AM right here. But that is pretty much it, if I'm being honest. So there was actually this is a nice short setup. It's not bad at all. If you took this, congrats. Did anybody take this? Did anybody take this short? I did. Ollie took it. Yes. Yep. Nice. So we're seeing the same things. That's good. Yeah. This was not a bad short for sure. Good RR in that as well. But for me, I'm kind of the action today was pretty rough. Pretty choppy in the AM for surely, and then we ended up getting some nice movement to the downside. But then again, here, just displacement. This is some action that, especially if you are, I'm sure a lot of you guys ended up probably being a little bit too emotional today. Just because of this action, I can probably tell that a lot of you guys were a little bit more emotional because it's very hard to read. It's very hard to read the draw based off of just what we're looking at here. But definitely not bad setups today. All right. So now I do want to review some of the trades you guys took today. So if you guys feel free to just post some screenshots and we'll check them out. All right, let's see what we have here. SMT reacting to Thermia bear sweeping. Where'd you take the trade? Gold fair value gap right here. Did you short this? Oh, you shorted this. Okay. Okay, I get I know where your mind's at. 100%, I know where your mind's at, and this is not a bad short. You came up sub those equal highs, you have SMT, you waited for the displacement, you waited for the correction, this gets rejected, and then you take that next fair value gap. That's not a bad short. I mean, I get where your head's at. The only really thing that I can say is this failed is because you're trading FOMC. That's pretty much it. It's just bad action. I agree that this most of the time would work, and you would see this low. I do believe that most of the time that would work. So it's not a bad trade. It's just wrong day. Bad day. Yes, I am recording. Okay, it's 5 minute. Can you show me a picture of the 1 minute? I want to see what the 1 minute looks like because I can't really tell a lot from this one candle on where you bought and sold. Got SMT, got displacement, pull back. Beautiful, brother. This is nice. Got these highs here. SMT at the highs. Waited for that displacement, pull back to fair value gap. Beautiful short. And that 1 hour fair value gap. Nice. Looks good, brother. I gotta say, I used to trade so much, like not even a revenge trade, just thought I needed to be looking for trades all day, every day. Over the last 3 months, just from being in the market so much, I'm now going into the day thinking likely won't take a trade. And I can tell when a day is going to be high probability based on where we are on higher time frame charts. It's crazy that it happened naturally. Like my mind is different now, and I didn't even mean to. It just come with more time in the market and more experience, feeling really good about that. Absolutely. 100%, guys. That's what I would say. Right now, your main focus should just be building experience because, like James said, you will get to a point where the more experience you have, the more that you just watch price action, the more that you see things start to repeat, the more confidence you're going to have recognizing those things, and you're going to end up making decisions to protect you and also on the attack, and it'll benefit you. So a lot of the time, focus on building that experience. You're going to be able to see these things before they even happen with the more experience you have just watching price action. Guessing there's probably a fair value gap here on a different time frame. Sweep rejected, got displacement, pulled back to that fair value gap. The only critique that I have on this is let a con go here. Especially when you're in a bear trend here, you could definitely have a lot more room on this. Definitely a lot more room. Left a lot on the table. Now, it's always good to take profits, but always make sure, leave a contract to what the chart is telling you it's going to go, right? We know what happens after this gets rejected. What's the probability after this happens? The probability is very likely that we're going to go at least to this low. So definitely at least leave a contract to this low, minimum. And if not more, right? And that's when we can whip out standard deviation to really get runners to that low. But good trade overall. Is this the trade that I looked at that I would have taken? Or was this on ES instead? I'm guessing it kind of looks like it. It's not bad though. The only thing that I would really say for this is the risk is just a little bit maybe much. But you positioned yourself right, because for this to be invalidated, that is the stop that you would really need to have if you're trading this time frame. That's pretty much, yeah. That's not a bad trade. I get what you're looking at. Just the risk is a little bit off though. So it's a good trade, but keep that in the back of your mind, just saying 1.5, good trade, but we want to aim for a little bit more. But other than that, it's good. Two different bullish for Vegas working out, bearish for Vegas failing to reach higher time, reduce ball, liquidity swept internal, liquidity immediate displacement of the entry. Okay, so the reason I know where your head's at, but right now you're too zoomed in. You're too zoomed in right now. After looking at this action right here, zoom out, recognize where you are, and notice the probability of what this is, right? And notice the risk reward on this as well. It's not the greatest. It's not bad. But again, this is a lower probability setup. You're too zoomed in and too much internal structure here to be taking trades off of 1 minute. $15-minute high gets swept. ICT, Twitter, delivery to sell side. So I would not have taken this for value gap, and the only reason why I would not have taken shorts here is I wouldn't really have touched anything here. Besides that first trade in the morning here and that fair value gap, I would not have touched anything here. The reason is because it's all lower probability. We have all this choppy action. We haven't swept that high. Even though we swept this internal high, that doesn't give me enough confidence taking shorts here. So it's not bad. I mean, you could see that it worked out, but for me, this is a lower probability trade. The more that you try to take this setup, the more it's probably not going to work. In my opinion, this is just a thing that ended up working out just because of the action today. Yep, I get why you took this short here as well. Yep. This should have been at least one con off here. But this is, yeah, very choppy action. At this move to the downside, we should not be having this move back to the upside. Again, this is just FOMC choppy action. This is why I did not trade today, is because I was expecting to see bad fucking AM action like this. Yeah, at this point in time, when we come up and we reject this and we have this big move to the downside, we should see this low at least. Yeah. I think a lot of you guys were in the right mindset today, the right headspace, good trades, good setups. You just failed to recognize what day you're trading. If you are trading on FOMC or CPI days, make sure you lower your size. You always want to protect yourself. Yeah, this is the long that I would have taken. So this is the one of two setups that I would have taken today. Is this long here? I would not have taken this long though. It's not bad though. Not bad. Good risk. Good RR. Draw liquidity, 15-minute merchant replace discount, 1 minute for value, set 3 minute, enter a new bear. Okay. Yep. This would be easier for me to understand if I could see multiple time frames, but I get what the setup is here. So that's the 15-minute market structure, pull back to discount, you wait for the displacement, pull back to fair value gap, sell off. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. I like that. Did I see this one? Yeah, I did. How far in your trading journey did you get that click or realization that your time and experience within the market has really made you a better trader? I feel like in the first 6 months you know that. Like in the first 3 months you know that. The more guys, you will start to realize that you level up every day. Every day that you come into the market, whether win or fail, you are a better trader than you were the previous day because you have more experience. You have a new lesson that's added to your arsenal that you now can use to your advantage in the future. Now, that's your decision whether you're going to use that or not, or you're going to brush it under the rug, right? That's why a lot of you guys fail, is because you have these mistakes, you have these successes, but you don't go back and realize which one's which and then actually have the conscious decision to use that information to really benefit you. That's the problem. That's why journaling is so important. And that's why we do these charting sessions. Because this is like that question somebody asked me earlier when we started is, what do I enjoy more? Charting sessions or lives? And I say charting sessions because this is where the actual progress is made. I know I already sent it, but was there anything that I could have done better or more accurate? Just trying to refine my strategy. No, I would have taken the exact same trade here, brother. I would have taken the exact same setup. Yeah, it's nice. Nothing wrong with that. I have no comment on that. All right, let's look at what I'm going to be watching going into tomorrow. So, first thing, NQ. Let's clear up the charts here a bit. What do you think we're heading to right now? Where does market look like we want to go right now? This low. This low, I do believe, is still the draw on liquidity we've been continuing to sell off. And I do believe in the coming month, this fair value gap is going to become the draw. These equal lows is where I think that we're going in the coming month. So, going into tomorrow, I am going to be bearish, and I do want to see this low get taken. But this is when we zoom in and we have to see, okay, what has to happen first before we see that? Now, if I'm being honest, this looks like we're probably just going to sell off in the overnight session to take it. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with the shorts, but I will still be short biased because the only way that I am going to be long biased, after sweeping this low, I'm going to continue to be short biased, but the only way I'm going to be long biased is if we can get break of structure on a bigger time frame. And a bigger time frame meaning 4 hour, 1 hour. So a lot of the times we can take advantage of intraday moves continuing to the downside, right? Because if we broke a sell side level on a daily, right, this is a daily sell side level, then I'm not going to be super scared on a 1 minute break of structure to the upside. Okay, everybody listen to what I just said again, because a lot of you guys have struggled with this. I am not going to be scared or flipped bullish by a 1 minute or 5 minute break of structure to the upside after sweeping a daily sell side level, right? For me to actually have some sort of confidence to say that we're coming here, here, or here, I need to see break of structure in big displacement on a bigger time frame like a 4 hour, which is going to take more time, going to take more structure. So I am going to be bearish. I do think that we'll have more follow through to the downside. So where can we maybe go? Well, first thing I notice, we have this nice high here. This is going to be our buy side. We can come up, maybe sweep this, look to see the reversal. We have a 15-minute fair value gap here that we touched before that we rejected, looking to see lower. If I zoom in, we have this little 5 minute here, high here. Now I wouldn't be this high would be a lot lower probability to the downside. The reason is because it's not in discount of this range. Now maybe if we came up here and then looked to reject, but the best possible thing that we could do is if we get a nice move to the upside in the overnight session and we can come and sweep this high looking to go back lower. That is pretty much the main thing I'm watching, is that I want to see us come back to this high. But I will be watching to see if we come up and reject this area as well. Now looking at ES, very similar thing. We're about to come down, sweep this level. Again, I need to see break of structure on a bigger time frame for me to validate a long bias, so I'm going to continue to be bearish. 4 hour, pretty much the exact same thing. We zoom in. We have that nice little 15-minute high here that we'll be watching for. We'll see if we come up, maybe sweep this level and then go back lower. So pretty much the exact same biases here on NQ and ES. Any questions? Yo, Justin, I feel like I'm getting caught up on taking trades and discount too much. It's good because it's high probability, but sometimes I'm missing big moves off a few ticks away from discount. Definitely a worse issue have, though, because I'm not forcing. Again, yeah, it is a good issue to have. The one thing that I would say is if you're struggling and missing your entries off of discount, number one, the biggest thing, I'm guessing you're talking about discount on a 1 minute, right? You're looking for a discount to that fair value gap to take, whatever long or short, right? So what I could say is wait for that initial move to the downside if you are waiting for a move to discount to enter, scale into a position, right? For example, let's say we have a high here, right? We come up, right? We sweep this high, all right? We sweep internal, all right. Now we get displacement to the downside, right? Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see us go back to discount of here, right? But let's say we have a fair value gap, maybe right here, right? And then maybe let's say we have another fair value gap right here. Hey, let's say my normal position size is 3 contracts, 4 contracts, whatever it is. Let's say 4 contracts. Okay. When we pull back, I'm going to add 2 contracts right here. Half my position size in this first contract. So, again, like we said earlier, insurance play, insurance entry. If this ends up selling off, at least I have something in the tank. At least I'm going to benefit from this move. But if we end up coming to my original entry, I am now entering my full position, which then moves my average to a way better fill than it would be if I just entered my full position right here. So let's say this. I enter half positions here. I put my stop somewhere up here. If we end up rejecting here and I enter my full size, I'm still keeping the same stop. But when we reject, I then move my stop to this high. So then I'm managing really good risk here. Another way you could do this is wait for the rejection of whatever that fair value gap is. Once we come back here, if we reject, okay, then enter, right? But a lot of the times, you'll get faked out by doing that, just by a little 1-minute candle, and you're going to get a really bad entry. So the only way I would say is just wait for discount. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. It's simple as that. You're doing good habits. I guarantee you're going to be more profitable by that. Do you want to win or do you want to win long-term, right? Do you want to win right now or do you want to win long-term? That's the decision you have to make. And having a good habit, like being patient enough to wait for that good entry, that is going to help you in the long run, right? I always say, if I don't get the entry that I want, then I'm not going to take a trade. It's as simple as that. And I don't care. I do not care to miss out on the move if I don't get the entry I want, right? Because I know that habit I'm building is going to benefit me a lot than just forcing an entry, getting a bad fill, ruining my RR, to then take advantage of a maybe a possible move that might benefit me, right? I just wrote 2 pages of really solid notes that I haven't realized, which means I'm shit, but also good, but that I'm going to progressively learn. How do I take all this information in without throwing it under the rug? Journaling. That's it. Just journal. Every trade that you take every day, at the end of the day, whenever you're done trading, journal it. Go back, screenshot the trades. What'd you do right? What'd you do wrong? Figure out what you did, and use that to your advantage. Journaling is going to stick with you. Again, you always tell your fucking English teacher would be like, oh, write it down or else you're not going to remember. It's true. It's fucking true. However you want it, even if you think it's not true, it's fucking true. Actually putting in the time to write things down and review and look back and question things, the actual act of doing that is going to stick with you than just taking a trade. Because I'm not going to lie, if I take a trade and I don't journal, I come to the charting session, I'm like, hey, do you guys remember what the fucking trade that we took today? Because I don't even remember the trade that I took this morning, even if it's a fucking winner, right? Because sometimes I'm going to forget. Because sometimes if you don't journal, it's not going to stick with you. It's just going to slip away. And you're just going to, in a constant cycle of making the same mistakes over and over again, because you don't even realize that you're doing it because there's no database to really look back on. Yeah, I got you with the chart layout. How do I do this again? Dude, I keep forgetting how to do this. Publish, right? How do I get the link? There we go, copy link. Can you show your fib settings? Yeah, I got you. Here, I'll post a screenshot on the channel. All right, guys. That is all I have for you guys tonight. Get some rest. We're going to kill it. We're off to a good start this week. Decided to take a break today off for FOMC. I'm totally fine with that. I missed out. No, I actually didn't miss out on all. I'm pretty much in it. We had a nice trade here. Pretty much it. But again, we wouldn't have really caught it on the live. We would have been stuck in this choppy action here in the live. So again, always good to step away for FOMC days, news days, if you're not confident on what the draw is. So I'm totally fine taking the day off, and we'll come back tomorrow and kick some ass, yeah? All right, guys. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Peace.